Hello, my name is Kent Rohr. I'm the sales engineer for maxAI. In this video, we're going to be covering a second section of the Keypad Platform Service module. So in the first video, we went over the whole Keypad module itself in the demo project file of the IDE, going over how two different screens, the main screen and the I/O screen, is functioning with the keypad, how to get and set the DL, to set the database variables, whether to set the keypad state or to move through the toggles, the switches and buttons within TouchGFX. But with that whole video, that's a little over 20 minutes long, there's a good section within the integration project file that goes over the keypad as well. So this will be a more brief video, but you'll see the functionality laid out in, I think, a more simplistic way that may help make more sense on how to navigate through the keypad. So I am on the maxotech.com website under the maxAI 430. So you'll be in products, CAN bus, Max 430. You get to this page, you'll be on the documentation section. You go to downloads, and we're going to be looking at the integration test project file. When I have this integration test project file open, it's showing you every platform service that you may want to utilize. So it's a great project file to look at all the different ways of setting up the different modules and utilizing them throughout every different screen. So I opened up the TouchGFX, and if you're not familiar with how I open that up within IDE, you could just scroll all the way down to if you're in the TouchGFX folder, all the way down under Simulator Target, and you double click right here. And that should open up TouchGFX. When I open up that, I center. You have all these pages here. All these pages are covering every platform service of the Max 430 product. Well, there's a good section here. This is where I have a second smaller video going over the keypad. So then this keypad functionality screen, you have keypad 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you've got 8 different buttons. And then you've got some information down below as far as kind of where these buttons on the actual hardware is laid out, so you kind of know where you're at when you're pushing those buttons. But you also know where you're at when you're navigating through these buttons, because the actual text and button itself will change its appearance as you're navigating through. So now you see from the GUI side what this looks like. Let's look at the IDE side of it. So what I did is I opened up 4 different files. This is going to be in the TouchGFX GUI, include GUI, and SRC source GUI. Keypad screen. I've got the presenter HPP, the view HPP, and for the source, the CPP files, I've got those 2 open here: keypad screen, presenter, view, CPP. So the main file here that you're putting in all the functionality that's tied back into TouchGFX is shown right here. So this is showing everything on TouchGFX, how you're navigating and selecting, changing the database, the keypad state, turning on and off different features, variables, and so forth. So you'll see at the very top here, we've got keypad view is the name of that screen that we're working with in TouchGFX. We've got standard setup and tear down screen voids in here. We've got a trigger that we're not utilizing. And then we've got the key update. We talked about the key update section where we went through navigating through the screen, setting, and getting the DL. So here's just kind of another look at the key update section. So we've got a void, key update, and if it's enabled, the keypad, and here's the state. If it's a short press on key 1, this is now calling out on TouchGFX the actual setting, the color of that keypad button itself. And then you've got a long press keypad button, which then sets the color. So what that's doing is you're going to have this button here. It's going to show that you're actually on this button to the user itself. If you have a long press, let's break it down what that's going to look like. And then we go into key 2, short press and long press. You're going through all 4 keys, laying all that out for the key update functionality. Now you'll see in here that we have, just starting at the top at line 20 again. So we've set how the button or the text actually will be looking when you're on that button or when you're leaving that button. And then you have the state. And you're going to set the state keypad backlight on by saying set_DL keypad backlight state. So you'll see here in keypad 1, short press, and we have in a little description here, backlight on. So it's kind of telling you if you're using this little sample code, this button on a short press will turn the backlight on. And in 2 and 3 short presses, nothing other than we're just navigating through all the way to 4. And then if you have key 1 long press, turning that off, the backlight. Key 2, 3 long presses, trying again, and then long press goes back. So let's look at that a little bit further. You'll see here we've got the keypad off for the key long. Keypad 1, long press, back light off. We got 2 and 3. You'll see that we're not setting any DL here. These are just showing you navigating through those buttons. And we should have keypad 4, long press, back. So here it shows that we've gotten to that button. And if we do a long press, then we're going to go to the integration test screen without a transition. So this is a call function as far as how to then move into the next screen, which should then be set up on that screen itself. So that screen is somewhere up here, one of these screens here, where you're actually moving back to the previous screen, which will be this first screen right here. So keypad, you're navigating through each button. And depending on if you do a short or long press, that's going to then highlight this button. And it's going to do a set to DL to turn the backlight on or off, or to go back to the previous screen. So that's just a simple way of looking at how the keypad functionality works on a key update. We're just working on one page of moving through different buttons that's laid out in TouchGFX, and how you're actually using one of those buttons to then set a DL. If you have any further questions, you can look back at the first video going on the keypad module. You can also look into the guide for the SDK around page 70 to 80 going over the keypad. You'll see some sample code for blank, demo, and the integration test towards the end of the SDK guide, about 300 to 400 pages in. You'll see that reference at the top in the overview of all the sections of the guide as well. We're releasing some more custom set videos going over some custom applications that we've created, which should then be showing what we're doing with the keypad and other modules. But for now, thank you for joining on the second video of the keypad functionality for the platform service modules, and I'll see you in another video.